Hello everyone, I hope you are doing fine. And in this video, we will be discussing about the journal entries regarding the books of merger in the nature of the merger if the following criteria are followed. For example, here we will talk about if we have a combination of cash, equity, and other assets. So if we have all the pooling of the cash, the equity shares, and the other assets, in that case, how the journal entries will work and how the amalgamation will take place. For that, we have some further details. Let us dive into it. The first detail says that the company is what? A transferee company, acquires the company F, which is the transferor. Okay. Then the equity shares of company F are 25,000. The face value per share of company F is rupees 10. Also given that the exchange ratio is 1 share of company E for every 5 shares of company F. Okay. That means the ratio is 1:5. Then the market value per share of company E is rupees 30. The cash payments are rupees 2 lakhs and the other assets like machinery transferred is rupees 50,000. So this is it. Now here, talking about the journal entries, let us dive through the solution. Now, journal entries, when in the books of transfer, first of all, we will make the entries in the books of the transferor company, which is F. Okay. Now here, first thing we'll do is transfer the assets and liabilities to company E. We will transfer the assets and liabilities to the company E. Here, the first entry will be the realization account debit to sundry assets account. Then sundry liabilities account debit to realization account. We will disperse the assets and the liabilities from our realization. That is the INR 4 lakhs and INR 4 lakhs. Okay. Now, how this amount came? 2 lakhs for the cash payment and 2,50,000 for the equity share capital. And the remaining, which are the assets has been transferred, will be subtracted. This will be make it 2 lakhs plus 2,50,000 minus 50,000. Now the liabilities will be rupees 1,50,000. 1,50,000 to realization account and INR rupees 1 lakh. Now how this 1,50,000 came? This is the cash payments minus the other assets which have been transferred. After that, there will be the entry for the realization of purchase consideration. Then the entry will be like this. Equity share capital of company E account debit bank account debit machinery account debit realization account debit to equity share capital account. And the amount will be equity share capital of rupees 1,50,000. Bank account is the cash value of rupees 2 lakhs. Machinery account is 50,000. And again, the realization account is rupees 50,000. And the remaining will be the balancing figure, that is the equity share capital of rupees 4 lakhs. Okay. So basically, we discharged these amounts by issuing the equity share capital of rupees 4 lakhs. This is what the entry says. Now, this will be in the entry in the books of the transferor company. Now, if we move ahead and talk further, we need to do in the books of transferee company. Now, who's the transferee company? The transferee company is E. Okay. Firstly, we will record the assets and the liabilities. Acquired. Okay. Also, sundry assets account debit to sundry liabilities account to business purchase account and the amount will be 4 lakhs rupees 1,50,000 and the business purchase of rupees 2,50,000. After that, the issue of shares, payment of cash and transfer of machine. Here, the entry will be as follows. That is the business purchase account debit to equity share capital account to securities premium account to bank account and then to the machinery account. The amount will be rupees 2,50,000. Here the amount will be 50,000. The amount of securities premium will be rupees 1 lakh. The bank account will be rupees 2 lakh. And the machinery account will be 50,000. Okay. Now, again, there is a confusion. There should be a confusion that how the securities. See, all these entries are already mentioned. Equity share capital of 50,000, machinery of 50,000, and bank payment of rupees 2 lakhs. Now, how the amount of securities premium is gonna come? That is the point. That it is mentioned in here that calculation of securities premium. We talk about the calculation of the securities premium first in here. What we have? We got that one share of company E for 5 shares of company F. Okay. Shares of company F are 25,000. Okay. And the shares of company E will be 25,000 divided by how much? 5. This will be equal to 5,000. Face value is rupees 10 and the market value is rupees 30. Premium value is rupees 20, which is going to be the difference of this, right? Hence, total premium will be equal to 5,000 multiplied by these 20. That will be rupees 1 lakh. And this is pretty much it. This is how this value of rupees 1 lakh has came. Okay. Now let us just move ahead with the next example or the next scenario, that is amalgamation with preference shares and cash. What will and how will you amalgamate the company if you have the preference shares and cash? For that, we have got some details, and these details go as follows. Like company G, who is the transferee company, acquires company H, which is the transferor company. Equity shares of company H are 30,000 and face value per share of company H is rupees 10. Exchange risk or exchange ratio is one preference share of company G for every three shares of company H. Okay. Here, the face value per preference share of company G is rupees 100 and the cash payments are rupees 1 lakh. Now let us just move ahead with the solution. Journal entries. Okay, so we have been given the journal entries now. Journal entries will be in the books of transferor company, which is company H. Okay, and here the transfer of assets and liabilities to company G. We will transfer all our assets to company G. So how much assets do we have? First of all, realization. The amount which we have in the realization will be transferred to the sundry assets account. That means now we are transferring our assets. Okay. What will be the amount? The amount is going to be rupees 3,50,000. That's 50,000. After that, the sundry liabilities account debit to realization account. And the amount will be 1 lakh. Here also 1 lakh. The assets and liabilities have been transferred. Okay. Now realize the purchase concept. After you have transferred all the assets and liabilities, now it's your turn to realize all the amount of the purchase consideration in here, which is the preference shares in company G account debit, bank account debit realization account, debit to equity share capital account. That is 1 lakh, again 1 lakh, again 1,50,000, and the equity share will be rupees 3,50,000. Okay. This will be the amount of the purchase consideration. After that, we will make the entry in the books of transferee company. And what is the transferee company? That is company G. Here, we will record the assets and liabilities acquired, which will be as follows. The sundry assets account, debit to sundry liabilities, to business purchase. The amount will be rupees 1 lakh. For the sundry liabilities, the amount will be, sorry, the assets amount will be rupees 3,50,000. The sundry liabilities accounts will be, amount will be rupees 1 lakh. And the business purchase will be of rupees, the remaining value, that is 2,50,000. After you have got the amount of the business purchase, issue the preference shares and payment in cash and the payment of cash. Make the payment of cash and issue the amount of the preference shares. So it will be business purchase account, will be debited to preference share account or preference share capital account, to bank account, to securities premium account. The amount will be 2,50,000 for the business purchase which we have got from there. The preference share capital is rupees 1 lakh which we have got from here. The bank payment is also of rupees 1 lakh which we have got from here. And the remaining is the securities premium. Now again, this securities premium is not the balancing figure. It has to be calculated. Working note on. Calculation of securities premium. We'll do a calculation on the working note of the security stream. Here, we know that the equity shares of company X equals to 30,000. Preference shares of company G there will be one preference share will be equal to three equity shares of company X, which means the total preference shares are 30,000 divided by 10, which will be equal to 10,000 shares. Okay. Now we have the market value of rupees 100. Sorry, let us just change it in this question. The face value of the preference shares is 1 lakh. Okay. And the equity shares are rupees 30,000, out of which 1 for 3 has to, that means this amount is going to be rupees 15. Actually, we have the missing values in here. The market value per share of company is rupees 15. And the face value is rupees 10. That means the remaining is the premium value, that is rupees 5, and the total premium will be 10,000 shares multiplied by 5, that is equals to INR 55. Why so? Because this is INR, not this. Okay. Now let's move ahead and go through the last case. In the last case, we are talking about the complex scenario with multiple components. What will happen if we have the multiple components? First of all, let us just note down the details. So the details says that the company I, which is the transferee, acquires company J, which is the transferee. fairer company. Equity shares of company J are 40,000. Okay. The face value per share of company J is rupees 10. Exchange ratio is one share of company I for every four shares of company J. Market value per share of company I is rupees 40. Now, here we have given the face value as well and market value as well. Cash payment is to be made of rupees 2,50,000. Transfer of the machinery is rupees 75,000. And the issue of preference shares is 1,000 shares of rupees 100 each. This is it. Okay. Now, let us just move ahead and move towards the solution. We will talk about the journal entries in here. Now, the journal entries in the books of the transferor company. The transferor company is what? J. The transfer of the assets and liabilities to company J. We are going to transfer the assets and liabilities to company J. Here, the realization account debit to sundry assets account. Now, the how much money has been acquired is rupees 7 lakhs. That is INR rupees 7 lakhs. The sundry assets INR rupees 7 lakhs. Sundry liabilities account debit to realization account. The amount of liability is rupees 3 lakhs. Okay. Now next we will realize the purchase consideration. So here the entry will be equity share capital of company I account debited. Bank account debited. machinery account debited, preference shares in capital of company I account debited, realization account debited to equity share capital account. The amounts will be equity share capital is of rupees 4 lakhs. The bank payment which has been done is of rupees 2,50,000. The machinery account is of rupees 75,000. The preference shares which have been issued are of rupees 1 lakhs. The realization of amount is rupees 25 out of the equity share capital of rupees 7. So this is the balancing figure. Okay. After that, we'll make the entries in the books of the transferee company. Journal entries in the books of the transferee company, that is a company named I. The amount will be as record the assets and liabilities acquired. How so? Sundry assets account debit to liabilities account, sorry, sundry liabilities account to business purchase. Okay, sir. We have the assets as rupees 7 lakhs and the liabilities as rupees 4 lakhs. Sorry, liabilities as rupees 3 lakhs. So remaining will be the business purchase, that is of rupees 4 lakhs. After that, we will issue the shares, payment in cash, and transfer the machinery and preference shares. This much work will be done. For that, the journal entries are going to be bank purchase account debit to equity share capital account to securities premium account to bank account to machinery account to preference share capital account. We have the business purchase of rupees 4 lakhs. out of which the equity share capital are of rupees 1 lakh. The security premium is of rupees 3 lakhs. We have made the payment of bank account that is rupees 2,50,000. The machinery is of rupees 75,000 and the preference share capital is of rupees 1 lakh. Now we add on this. This is not adding up actually. Let me just look at 1 lakh plus 3 lakh plus 2,50,000 plus 75,000 plus 1 lakh. That comes 8,25,000. And we have the business purchase of rupees 4 lakhs. This is not possible. That means there is an issue in the question. Let us just check it again. We have the business purchase of rupees 4 lakhs. So the securities given account of rupees 3 lakhs shall not come here. Actually, what we have been doing, we have been issuing. Why are we issuing the equity share capital? We don't need that. Two securities premium account of rupees. Now we will calculate the securities premium first. 40,000 share, 144. That means 10,000 and 30. Yeah, the amount will be rupees 3 lakhs only. This amount is going to be rupees 3 lakhs only. Business purchase will be of rupees 4 lakhs. That means the remaining will be of the goodwill. Which is missing. Okay. So equity share capital of rupees 1 lakh. So we have 1 lakh, 3 lakh, 1 lakh, 250 and sorry. Yeah. So the remaining of 4,25,000 is going to be the goodwill. This much goodwill it is bringing to the company or to the organization. Okay. So in this case, this is how the entries will be closed. If this amount has been the less, has been more, and there has been a deficit in there, then the entry will be settled down to capital reserve. Okay. Now let us just calculate. Let us just do last step. That is the working note for calculation of securities premium amount. How so? Let us just go to the details. It is given that equity shares of company J are 40,000. and ratio of shares of company I is equal to 1 is to 4. That is 40,000 divided by 10. Divided by 4. That is 10,000. Market value is rupees 40 and face value is rupees 10. That means the premium value is rupees 30. Okay. Total amount of securities remain. It will be 10,000 multiplied by INR 30. That is what rupees 3. Okay. So this is how the amount of the securities premium is calculated. So in this particular video, we have discussed about the various examples and the scenarios for the journal entries in the books of the transfer and the transferee company. That what will be the scenario and how the entries will be recorded. I hope you have understood this. Thank you so much and see you guys in my next show.